Blessings, divine beings. Today's a full moon, so in honor of that, we're going to do a reading with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. This is the deck. I don't use that often because I don't love the art, but I told myself I was going to challenge myself to use it today because the book is great. The messages in this deck are great. Okay. These cards are pretty sticky. You know what? These cards are kind of sticky and hard to shuffle. There, that's a little better. All right. Ooh. Sorry. All right, we are gonna cut it there and there. Okay. So we have the flower moon blossoming. Wow, I wonder if today is the flower moon. It's April. Is that the flower moon? I'm not sure. There's so many different names for the different cultures of the full moons. And then we have the waning crescent 4 release. And we have new beginnings, new moon. Beautiful. Okay. Is that the card that fell out earlier? I can't remember. Maybe it was meant to be. Okay. All right, so for the flower moon, the key word is blossoming. It says, do not give up. You have planned for this. Take no notice of what others think or say about you. Open and rise. Someone around you may be jealous of your success, but mark your victories. The mantra of this card is, I joyfully blossom and I feel no fear. Okay? In the country in which I live, well, the author, there really aren't a lot of meadows, that classic kind of gently rolling open space, often between a forest or mountains. This kind of space whispers to you, here, rest a while, lay down, my friend, it's soft. The first true meadow I saw was in Yosemite National Park in the United States. Oh, I'm personally very close to Yosemite. I live in California. Okay, it was early spring. The snow had pretty much stopped and nature had taken her opportunity. In front of me, the author, as far as I could see, was a green meadow of grasses covered in blossoming flowers. It was so beautiful and almost made me cry. I just stood there for a long while, taking it all in. I felt so hopeful and new and joyful. I felt so hopeful and renewed and joyful. Oh, I feel like that was a typo in the book. Okay. It repeated twice. Okay. I walked into the meadow and was soon surrounded by this blossoming. The flower fragrance drifted up with the breeze. There was a dusting of pollen on my clothes, and I could hear the contented buzzing of a few insects. In that moment, I was so grateful to be part of the meadow. Anything seemed possible here. There is a time to blossom. We plant seeds, both physically and metaphorically, so they will blossom into what we intend. Perhaps the journey has been long and a hard one, but we shouldn't give up, especially if we are close. Fear is usually the thing that prevents flow and blossoming. Fear and failure, fear of success, fear of change, fear of what people think. I could go on, but no, if we can release the useless fears and begin to enjoy our growth and eventual blossoming, it will all be worthwhile. Beautiful. And the companion stone for this card is a ruby. The release card says, let it go. It is time to release anything that does not serve you. Old negative habits do not engage you any more, as the payoff is not high enough. You are ready to make room for bigger, brighter, more aligned things. The mantra from this card is, I freely release what I no longer need. There is payoff if we decide to finally release something we no longer need. That payoff is as individual as you are, but there will be a universal feeling of making space for something new. The secret to effectively releasing what no longer serves you is, in fact, knowing that the payoff will be indeed worth it, which makes it super important to know what the positive payoff may be. For example, giving up a bad habit such as smoking, which we know is detrimental to your body and that it is cancer causing, has payoffs, right? what the most important payoff is for you may be different for someone else who is giving up the habit, but it needs to be clear in your mind, body, and spirit. You might give up so that your body feels healthier generally, so that your children and those around you aren't exposed to the smoke and chemicals, that you live longer, or that all that money you are wasting on cigarettes could be used for something that is more in line with what you really want, such as travel or a home, all of which are real payoffs for which it is worth releasing the habit. In magic, a particular in spellcraft, right? The art of release after raising power is vital to its effectiveness. Should we raise power without sending it out to the universe or deities in a focused way, it remains stagnant or stuck, and this can cause us to feel overwhelmed. And the companion stone for this one is smoky quartz. And for our last card, New Moon Beginnings, it says, you are offered a fresh start. Your journey is beginning. Take the first steps towards something new. It is time to place emphasis on your health and well-being. The mantra for this card is, I accept and rejoice in renewal and beginnings. There is something incredibly poetic and even romantic about the tiny sliver of silver that is the new moon. After that waning cycle and depth of the dark moon, here is appearing in the sky incredibly a blackboard of the universe. Here is the evidence that even after the darkest night returns, light returns again. The crescent of the new moon is an ancient symbol that stretches back into ancient prehistory. There are cave drawings featuring crescent moons, sculptures of goddesses with crescent moon diadems, and the goddess Aphrodite, Hecate, Diana, Artemis, Inanna, and many Central Asian female deities were often depicted with new moon symbology. Go back even further into the Neolithic cave paintings, where the moon symbology features, with no phase more commonly being depicted than the new moon. When the new moon appears in the lunar cycle, we are gifted with new beginnings and a fresh start. When we have identified as useless or unneeded any more of the released in the void of the dark moon, and here waiting is a new chance. Here we get to renew our lives and feel free enough to risk trying again. Whether you are asking for a fresh start in relationships or a new love, or heralding the actioning of intentions such as better health and a new business, or a start of a new project, writing the new moon energy will assist you. Many creative people start new works on a new moon, and I personally, as an author, like to begin all my works in this phase, even if beginning means simply typing up a cover page or outline. The most powerful of new moons for fresh starts traditionally are within the season of spring. And it's spring today. Right? Companion stone for this card is Celestine.